New York Times, they are reporting that Biden has hinted to a close ally that it may be time for him to quit. Now, Biden is going to sing a different tune. He's going to say, no, that never happened. Biden is an institutionalist, okay? This is what they're trained to do. Put it up full mass, let me give you the background. So according to the New York Times, President Joe Biden has heard calls for him to step aside after his debate debacle. And according to the report, he is in fact considering it. The president has told a key ally, according to the report, he realizes he may not be able to convince voters that he is up to the task of winning the election and serving another term. And that individual told the New York Times that Biden understands his upcoming appearances heading into the July 4th holiday weekend must go well, or he may need to go. Quote, he knows if he has two more events like that, we're in a different place, that ally said, referring to the president's unsteady and unfocused performance on the debate stage. So this is a sensitive area here, okay? Because Biden is being blamed for being, well, an elderly man. He has good days and he has some days not so good. But he can't control his schedule. The debate is set for when the debate is set. If you're having a bad day that day, it is what it is. But see, Trump, on the other hand, he may be quick-witted or quicker than Biden, but it's easy when you're just bullishing. You're just talking. No research, no facts, no truth. And then the moderators let you get away with it, okay? So it's a difficult proposition for an actual debater to be in that position. All right, so Biden has been reaching out to Democratic elected officials. And listen, my opinion, it's time for Biden to hang it up. And I know people are going to get upset about that, so be it. But it's time for him to hang it up. Democratic elected officials and plans to meet with Democratic governors on Wednesday evening, but he has told at least one trusted advisor that he understands his efforts to recover from the debate may not work. So let's get into it. Yahoo News, right? Found that just 9% of those surveyed thought Biden should step aside to allow another candidate to run for president. If Biden does drop out of the race, more poll respondents than not says someone other than Harris should be the Democratic nominee. Although the numbers were close at 42% and 38%, that's very close to the margin of error. Still given a choice between Harris and 7 other Democrats like Governor Newsom and New York Congresswoman AOC, the poll found that the vice president was the clear-cut favorite at 31% in that particular context. In a recent poll, which surveyed about 1,000 US adults across the country, found that in a matchup between former First Lady Michelle Obama and President Obama, Michelle Obama wins 50-39 against the former president. All right, so Obama, who has previously said, Miss Obama says she will not run for president, beat out everybody in the poll. A key advantage of Harris over other replacements. So let's talk about this strategically. So Kamala Harris is the only person who can take control of the Democrats' $240 million war chest, sources told the Post. Many prominent Democrats are waiting in the wings to take the ailing 81-year-old's place, but the $250 million Biden-Harris have raised is non-transferable. It's a campaign finance, all right? So campaign finance sources told the Post, Biden has 2 real choices, Kamala and Harris, or they transfer to the DNC. That money would all be accessed by the current VP, Kamala Harris. Anyone else would be on their own for funding. Gives you a lot of leverage, doesn't it? Whole lot of leverage. All right, we're screwed. I don't know how else to position this. And if they do what the, I don't know, plan B is, you got to have a brokered convention. Well, brokered conventions always create brokenness. Nobody's happy in brokered conventions. And typically, it's not a very popular thing in modern context. It used to be a norm decades ago, no more. All right, Woz, man, I just don't understand how Republicans are literally making all the wrong moves on purpose. And we still can't take advantage of their self-check.
I honestly, man, I would like to blame the Democratic Party establishment and apparatus, because this has just been their modus operandi since we saw in 2016. They basically coronated Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
In 2020, they conspired with all the centrists. The Pope, Barack Obama, made sure to call a bunch of people, drop out the race, endorse Joe Biden. That's what they did. That's what they've done. This time around, they basically rigged the entire process so that nobody could compete with Joe Biden. They basically did not give the voters a choice. When poll after poll, Dr. Richey, that you've cited, that Anna and Cenk have cited, that plenty of outlets have cited, have said the Democratic Party base didn't want Biden to go again. And in fact, if people remember, when he started his campaign in 2019, 2020, he was like, oh, I'm gonna get out the way after I win. I just gotta get Trump out of here. I'm gonna get Trump out of here and I'm gonna get out the way. That was a Biden promise that he's already gone back on. So the idea that, I just love this idea that the voters were just too stupid. That, the press secretary's coming out with, we can't even, the young staffers, we can't even keep up with Biden. Oh, he's so on it. He's so with it. He's so, like, they're doing all of this. Meanwhile, everybody can see he's diminished. And the bottom line is, it's one job to be an administrator, to be a legislator. That's a job that the president has. Whip up votes, get things going, get things passed. That is a job. But as a campaigner, that's a wholly new job. And guess what? You need to inspire confidence. You need to inspire hope from these people. People want to see somebody who's projecting leadership, who's projecting strength. Biden can't do it, so he's not up to the job. Like, this is just obvious. And voters in poll after poll have been saying this, and yet they ignored it. And now we get to the 11th hour where everybody's like, seems like people don't want to support this. It's like, it's been there it hasn't even been months, Dr. Richey. It's been years the voters have been saying this.
Yeah, well, they said it in the first election when he got elected a few years ago. He said he was he's the guy that's going to transition things, all right? He's not the I'm going to stay here guy. He's the transition president, right? But he's deciding not to transition. And this is, I want to say this to the staffers. I get it. I work in politics myself. I understand falling on the sword for the president, et cetera. But for those who criticize anyone on the left for saying the truth, and then capping it off with a statement like, Trump supporters don't do that. They stick with their guy. You see, that's the part. We're not like them, nor do we want to be like them. And if you would like to be like them, hop your happy ass over to MAGA.